lead the country, and a woman of mixed race.
Wow. Let's dump all the false caricatures in one sentence.
I want
to
to thank
respond. Oklahoma Senator Mark Wade Mullin. Your reaction to that?
Well, of course, they got to throw out the sexist and racist card, right? They can't talk about the fact that she couldn't even figure out what accent to use when she was talking to which crowd. She never could actually explain her policies. She was always shifting to the right or to the left, depending on who she was visiting with. And the truth is, the only person that had worse polling numbers than Joe Biden was Kamala Harris. So they picked a bad candidate. And so what did they think was going to happen? A failure was going to take place. And they want to blame the fact that they don't believe in actually true and fair elections in the Democrat Party anymore. They want to king and crown their next president or the next person to lead their party. Of course they're going to fail. What they couldn't understand is that President Trump was able to resonate with the American people. He was able to speak directly to them. And after having 4 years of Biden in the office, they wanted someone with actually high energy, which we know, Sean, we know President Trump. No one has higher energy than President Trump.
You know, Kamala was part of the cover-up of Joe's cognitive decline. She was part of the big lie that the border's secure and the border's closed. Part of the big lie and the disaster on the economy. She was the one that wanted taxpayer-funded sex change operations. Her running mate wanted taxpayer-funded college education for illegals. She was the one that was so out of touch and couldn't even do an interview or put a sentence together herself. So, you know, I find this narrative both deeply offensive and just not true.
Well, who knows her best? Probably her state. And she couldn't even win her own state in the primary when she ran against Joe Biden. She had to drop out because she couldn't win the California. She didn't poll good even across the country. That's why President Trump won all the states. He won by overwhelming popular vote, and he won the Electoral College. Plus, he delivered the House and kept them in control of the Republicans and delivered the Senate for the American people in the hands of the Republican people. Kamala Harris decided to go to the left of even where the party was at. They thought that was their winning piece. They thought if they go farther to the DEI, farther to this woke movement, that the American people was at that moment ready to make the change. What they found out, it's not happening. What's interesting, they lost the election and they still haven't learned their lesson. Look what they're doing right now. They're constantly digging farther to the left. They're digging up the old language that you just pointed out a while ago, still calling Republicans that support President Trump trash, calling us racist, calling us sexist. You just name the word, throw it out there because they can't talk about policy. What could they possibly talk about with Joe Biden's policy? His failure to secure the border, his failure to bring down inflation. I mean, where do you start?
Well, we need an investigation into who knew what and when. What did you know? When did you know it in terms of Joe's cognitive decline? Because that was a national security threat. Senator,
we have a White House that's going to do that too, underneath President Trump.
It's a national security threat to have a president doesn't know what time of day or what day of the week it is. Up next tonight on Hannity.